Now, while the league tries to figure out how to monetize next season, it presents a bit of a dilemma for us with our young guys. Not only they've been sitting around for almost a year with the rumors circulating that next season will start possibly even next to MLK Day, or even possibly till March. It presents a very interesting situation for guys that are at the end of their 4th year in their rookie scale deals, like Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr., because next season was supposed to be their year to prove their worth. So when they hit the restricted free agency market, at least they can get an offer to match from the Knicks. Now with Mitchell Robinson, because he was a 2nd round pick, his contract falls under the mid-level exception. So the Knicks have until the start of next season to pick up his final year that's not guaranteed, or just don't give him another year and let him hit the market as a restricted free agent, opening up the possibility of signing a bunch of guys in the summer of 2021 and then being able to go over the cap and possibly matching an offer that Mitchell Robinson gets elsewhere. And the other route, which I believe is probably most unlikely, is us picking up his team option before the start of next season, thus extending him to 2022. But then after that, he's going to hit the market as an unrestricted free agent. But the real dilemma here is that a lot of these guys this year was very pivotal for them. For Mitchell Robinson, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. It's very pivotal for them to show what they got so the Knicks can exercise the proper options that can be more lucrative for these guys. But if the season is going to start later and guys are going to have more time off and less experience, and possibly even a shortened season for next year, this is going to be a major issue when it comes to evaluating these guys. So to basically sum it up, we have a major free agency summer approaching, but within that same year, we have a few young guys that are trying to prove themselves to see if we're able to extend these guys further than their rookie deals. And this is all happening in a possible season, which it might get shortened because the league is trying to figure out how to monetize it, and a lot of different things are in flux because of the pandemic. This is why a second bubble would most likely make a lot of sense for a lot of the teams that didn't make the playoffs, because they tend to have younger guys, they need more experience, and right now teams can't really form their own bubble because A, is too expensive and there's no way for them to even monetize it. So they'll spend a ton of money, just like how you see the bubble now that we're watching the playoffs and this shortened season that they had. They would have to run the same type of system but not monetize it. They're just doing that just to practice, which makes no sense. So the league should organize some sort of bubble where it could be monetized, shown on TV like Summer League, and so younger guys can get a lot more practice, a lot more reps in. Now, speaking of younger guys, the 2021 free agency class goes way beyond just the major players that are going to be out there on the market. There's a lot of rookies that are approaching the end of their deals, and their prospective teams are also trying to sign guys out of that 2021 summer free agency class. So some of the younger guys may end up hitting the market also, like Bam Adebayo in Miami. Pat Riley might not end up giving him an extension over trying to chase Giannis or some other major player in the same caliber. OG Anunoby out of Toronto, he's going to be eligible. He could hit the market as a restricted free agent if Toronto decides to go after other guys that summer. Kyle Kuzma on the Lakers, Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac, I believe he's out of New York City also. The only issue with him is that this past season he had 2 major injuries, but he's a hell of a defensive player. So he could possibly end up hitting the market because Orlando might be a little bit shaky about giving him a contract renewal. Jarrett Allen out of Brooklyn, John Collins out of Atlanta. Maybe the Atlanta Hawks might end up trying to satisfy Trae Young and go after bigger names and let their rookies fall to the wayside and not give them any extension. But this is a good thing about that class of 2021. If the Knicks are not able to get any big time names, there's still other guys to negotiate and bargain with to get out of the marketplace. This was the major issue with Steve Mills. It was like not only we couldn't get the A guys, we couldn't get the B or B- guys. So that was a major issue and a major kind of red flag that Steve Mills' negotiating skills wasn't really up to par. And this is where we have Leon Rose and the other guys surrounding him who should have much better player to management relations to acquire some of these guys. So once again, some of the names I like for 2021, just in case we strike out with the big names, is guys like Bam Adebayo out of Miami, OG Anunoby out of Toronto. These are great guys that we could have and develop. Of course, I don't like Kyle Kuzma, But I do like Jonathan Isaac. I want to see how that situation plays out because I think he might get lowballed because of his injuries, and maybe we can get him on a 1-year deal with a team option to see how he bounces back from his injury. So there's still going to be plenty of opportunity outside of the top guys that are going to hit that free agency class. And this is where, once again, having good management is going to really kick in. Guys with good negotiation skills, guys with more personal skills with players. Also, Jarrett Allen out of Brooklyn. Maybe he might get sick of Kyrie and Kevin Durant because there is a rift in that locker room between the veteran, more polished guys and the younger guys. Guys like Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, and Spencer Dinwiddie. Now, as far as this offseason, the offseason for 2020, there's only 2 guys really that are high-profile rookies that are not going to get extensions off rip from their teams, and that's Harry Giles out of Sacramento. That's because there's a lot of mismanagement over there, especially from Vlade Divac. The fact that they gave Buddy Hield a contract, they got to give Bagley a contract, they still got to give De'Aaron Fox a contract. You know, they're tied up with Harrison Barnes. It's kind of mismanagement that they're going to end up losing one of their rookies, Harry Giles, who has major injury issues, but he also has a lot of upside. But they're going to eventually lose him for nothing in the free agency market because they mismanaged their money once again. But he's going to hit the market. It'll be interesting to see if he could possibly get a 1-and-1 deal where we, 1 year with a team option. Maybe that's something where we can go for. And also Josh Jackson, former 4th overall pick by the Phoenix Suns. Of course, he's been up and down, very athletic guy, but I'm not too keen on him. But these are the types of opportunities that do come up, and they'll be more frequent in 2021. But once again, Josh Jackson, I'm not too big on him, even though he's a high-profile rookie. He needs to go to some place like San Antonio where they're going to strip him of his personality and just make him a basketball robot, because he has way too much athleticism, but just not enough basics. It's very strange the way his player archetype is. But it is what it is. They moved up the draft date, by the way, to November 18th. I mean, I'm telling you right now, the league next season is just a lot of question marks. I mean, the main issue is the smaller market teams. They need the fans to be in the stands because they really benefit from that revenue sharing program, because they really can't afford to just pay players without fans. But hopefully the league figures out something and they get a bubble for teams like ours and the other teams that have younger players that just been off the court for almost a year.